after work. Planning on going to the track on Sunday, and there's still a few things we got to do. If you look at my slicks here, note the location of the valve stem. If you see that mark by the H, that's paint pen put on there by Mark over at McCormick Tire, and that's supposed to be lined up with the valve stem. So we got the slicks spinning on the rim. I'm gonna take these to my buddy Jim's, and he's gonna put some bead sealer on there, and we're gonna try to get that to stop from happening. Also, if you look at my UMI lower control arm adjustment brackets here, you can see some of my crappy welds from welding it in the car. I believe this spot here is part of this weld here under the tip of my thumb, and it's really not acceptable. So we're gonna put the control arm back here. Let's try this again. Very next Sunday. Not very next, a week from Sunday later. We're heading out to Lapeer Dragway, like I talked about in my last video. Earlier in the week, it looked like it was gonna be a crappy weather day, but in fact, it is completely beautiful out today. And I got my crew with me. Greg, he's behind the camera. Be doing some filming. Maybe we'll get him on screen later. We got Drew, co-crew chief.
What's up, Drew?
Back. And we're heading out to Lapeer Dragway, if I didn't say that already. Trashy's in the back. I think, oh shit, did we forget the car? No, I don't think so. So I moved the upper control arms back to the stock position on the axle. They were lowered approximately 2.5 inches from the housing from the stock position, and that caused the car to separate a lot. So we raised them up, and hopefully we can get our anti-squat back to the car being able to squat a little bit on launch. We'll see when we make a pass. So I've never had this engine down the track. It's 496. It dynoed at 664 horsepower, and I don't remember the foot-pounds. Or is it pound-feet?
Pound-feet.
Pound-feet. Let's pound feet. But there's a digital pocket computer formula where you can figure out what pound-feet is from horsepower, or is it vice versa? I don't know. We're heading out to the track, and we're gonna make some nice and easy hits. My first thought is to turn the trans brake down. It might be down from the no prep stuff, probably around 2400 or so. I'll probably leave it there, make a hit, make sure the car don't stand up on the bumper or anything silly like that. I'm gonna run it through the 8th and shut it off. I'm gonna let off the gas and wait till we get to the quarter mile and apply the brakes and see how good she stops. It's got good brakes, factory drums in the back, and disc manual conversion kit on the front. So the new horsepower to make sure it stops more than it goes, and maybe I'll run it out to 1,000 feet and then a quarter mile after that. We'll see how it goes. See you at the track. Peace. So this would not be possible whatsoever if it wasn't for my brother. Like I said in the previous video, I had obligations yesterday, which were Boys for Tots golf fundraiser outing and bowling after that. When I got to bowling, I had some time left, so I was sitting there listening to my radio. I've been having some what I thought battery issues with my truck from the previous week, and before I went into bowling, I went to start the truck, and smoke came out from underneath the hood. So it wouldn't crank after that. And I thought I was SOL and not going to be able to make it at all today. So I texted my brother, and he came and looked at the truck and got a battery and put it in there. It still didn't fix it, but at least I got a new battery for the winter. And we discovered that the issue was the starter. So he laid on his back in the bowling alley parking lot and changed my starter at 8 o'clock at night. Talk about a bad mofo. Love you, bro. So we're getting ready to pull up to the track here in a minute. I just made the last turn of the trip, besides turning in the parking lot. And, 664 horsepower, 3,450 pounds-ish. What's it gonna run? I want you to pause this video right now and put down in the comments what you think the car is gonna run. I'm gonna tell you what I think. I'm gonna start off leaving at about 2,400, and I'm gonna shift at 7,200 with a 496. It made peak power at 6,800 RPMs. I have a 342 gear, 210 first gear turbo 400, and 28 by 10.5 Hoosier CO6 slicks, CO6 or CO7, I'm not sure. But we're gonna start off at 15 pounds and go down from there if necessary. My thought is the 8th mile times are going to be in the 660 range and maybe 1040 in the quarter mile. Let's see how good I am at guessing. I just hope we make some nice easy passes and we don't have too many problems. Pulling up to the track now. So this is how you get into Lapeer Dragway. It's pretty surprised there ain't deer hunting, scaring a deer across the street. Maybe we'll see some on the track, but see how the shipping containers that they built to surround and a crossover from the track. It's a pretty cool, different layout than any place you're gonna end up going to. Not a whole lot of cars here, so you might be okay. Don't hear none running. That's kind of concerning. Oh, that thing's sweet. Driver and 2 crew members?
40 for the driver and 15 apiece for the other 2. So it'd be 30 and 40, 70.
70 bucks.
Pardon me?
$70.
Yeah, we don't do credit cards right now.
That's alright. Cash is what makes the world roll.
So the racers fills this out, signs it back, and everybody has to print and sign there. Oh, we're doing that one.
I had them on when I pull in the trailer.
cars that came up because he came up. Which lane is he going in?
So, we're headed up for the second pass. I turned the two-step up to 3,400 RPMs and the tires are set at 14 PSI. So I get up to the front of the line to make my pass. I'm in the line to make a pass in the left lane, and the car ahead of me oiled down the track, so they backed him up. Well, after they backed him up, they got another car, and I ended up in the right lane. I heard earlier in the day that the right lane was kind of greasy, so that was in the back of my mind while I was starting to make my pass. It's important for us to remember to bring a younger generation into the sport to keep it thriving for generations to come. to the track and realized for some odd reason I was missing 2 lug nuts on my right front wheel, and I ended up sending some guys that came out to watch me race into town to get me some lug nuts. Big shout out to Bruce, Terrence, and Corey Carter. Appreciate the guys going there and getting that done. So as soon as they got back with those, we put the 2 lug nuts on and we headed up to the lane. The first pass, I pull up, do my burnout and stage. Really kind of nervous because it's the first time I've had this kind of power under my foot in a car that hasn't been down the track in nearly a year. So I just wanted to take it easy, like I said in the earlier clip. So I set the trans brake to 2,400 RPMs. Greg set the tire pressure at 14 pounds. We let go of the button. Seemed to go down the track pretty smooth. I wasn't watching the tach on the first pass. I probably short shifted a little bit and hit second, and that car took off like it had wheels. It was going. So I cleared the 8th and made sure I cleared the 8th, and I let off. I coasted through the quarter mile at 11:22 at 90 miles an hour. It stopped pretty good, but you know, I still wanted to make another rip and go a little bit faster, and that way I could still make sure it stops going faster. So came back and let the car cool off for a couple minutes and went back up into line for the second hit. And some guys earlier in the day were saying that the right lane wasn't any good.
Greasy.
So yeah, it was greasy like French fries, greasy like, I don't know. But anyways, I was gonna go in the left lane, and then the car leaked some trans fluid on the starting line, so they backed them up. In the order of how cars were getting lined up, I ended up in the right lane. So sorry, driving this big thing, thinking and talking, and gets out of control sometimes. So I did my burnout on my second pass and staged. The 60-foot time was almost identical to the first one. I ran through first and hit second, and the back end started wiggling around, and so I got out of it and ran 7:53, I believe, to the 8th, and I coasted to the end of the track. It was like 14 something from letting out of it, and so I went back and cooled the car. We took a look at the rear suspension because I made changes on it. Wanted to make sure all the bolts were tight and the springs were in their pockets, and look for anything that seems amiss, and there was nothing. So we went up and made a third hit in the left lane. I started to do my burnout, and I shifted to second real quick. You're not supposed to do long burnouts in first gear, and the car started to hook. So I just shut the line lock off, and I nailed it and shot out of the burnout box out to, I don't know, somewhere past the 60 foot. And then, so I backed up. Rod was trying to help me. I was in the rear view mirror. I couldn't really see him that good. And I backed up and pulled in what I thought would be the groove. And looking at the video, I wasn't way out of it, but I was out of it a little bit. And the 60-foot time, I turned a two-step back down to 3,000 RPM. I had it set at 3,400 on the second pass. We'll compare the time slips later. So that thing just started getting sideways right at after the 60 foot. And I just let out of it. And we called it a day. Wasn't looking to be a superhero. Wasn't looking to wreck my car for a time slip or hurt myself or somebody else, so we're saving it for another day. Well, that's going to do it for now. I'm going to insert the time slips, I think, and might put another couple clips in here and some pictures and stuff and some other racing footage that crew chief Greg got for me. Catch you next time at Glenn's Hot Rod Garage. Peace.